Hello, everyone. Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, back with you again today. And I was thinking when I talked the other day, I talked about our multi protection formulation, how beneficial this can be because it's so comprehensive. You're getting the full spectrum of the vitamins and minerals, you get the organic greens, the fruit and vegetable blend, plus you get that probiotic. But then I started thinking and I thought to myself, oh, we have our true immunity as well. And it's back to school time, and there's always options for everyone. So maybe you don't like taking tablets, for example. So I thought I'll talk about the true immunity. This happens to be something that I really, really like. It's so easy, it's just simple little packets, and they taste really, really lovely. And remember, everything is non GMO. So nowadays, that really matters because we want to make sure that we are not exposing ourselves to things that have been genetically modified. We want to try and make sure that everything that we are trying to incorporate into our diet is clean, organic, pesticide free. All of these things can make a huge difference. So I thought I would talk to you about the true immunity because it is back to school time. So, for those who are maybe going back to work, for example, it's slow roll in a lot of places in terms of people coming back into office environments. Maybe your kids are back to school, but you always want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to support your immune system. And not just because of this crazy world that we're living in now, but this is something that we should always have a concern with. And when we look at our immune system, the one thing that oftentimes we overlook the important role of is the vitamins and minerals and how essential and critical those are when it comes to both the innate and the adaptive immune system. So, the innate, that's your initial immune response. And then the adaptive, as the name implies, it adapts to any exposure. And so it's more of a delayed immune response. But we want to make sure that we have adequate vitamins and minerals. So we think about things like B vitamins, very, very important when it comes to our immune system. Most time we just think of things like vitamin C and vitamin D. But your B vitamins, they're certainly important as well. We think about all of the many different minerals that play a key and critical role in maintaining our innate and adaptive immune systems. So we look at magnesium, for example, zinc. Most people correlate vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc with immunity, but there's so many other nutrients that we have to make sure that we have available because certain cells in our body are reliant on those very important vitamins and minerals. So, with taking the immunity, this is really just a nice way to make sure that we're covering those bases. Maybe you get up and you're running a little late for work and you didn't have a healthy Mediterranean style breakfast. Well, we still want to make sure that we're not hitting the road lacking our vitamins and minerals. So if we take a packet of our true immunity, add that in with some water, voila, we now have all of those really important vitamins and minerals. And this is key to maintaining our immune system. But the other really nice thing about true immunity is it contains this very powerful plant based extract in it. It actually comes from a fruit. It's called Schisandra. And Schisandra is really quite interesting. It's been studied across the spectrum of human health, and there is a reason why. Because when we look at all of the different ways in which Schisandra extract is beneficial for our health, it's really quite remarkable. We can look at it obviously for the immune system, and we know it plays a really critical role in maintaining proper cytokine release. So when we think about different things that can kind of rev up the immune system and drive up an overactive immune response or an inflammatory response, we always want to try to regulate that. So we know that the Schisandra extract has been shown in human clinical trials to do just that. So when we're targeting things like TNF alpha, tumor necrosis factor alpha, for example. So this is why Schisandra is really cool. But we also know that it's really targeted towards things like inflammation as well as neurotoxins. So when we think about the stressors throughout the day, maybe you're concerned about going back to work or concerned about going back to school, and you have this stress building up, which can do harmful damage to our little neurons in our brain. So we want to make sure that we are not creating an environment in which our body cannot keep up with that type of reactive oxygen species, which are oxidative stress that can create and generate harmful problems for us at a cellular level and do damage to the mitochondria. And so that's another way in which Schisandra extract has actually been studied in terms of the way that it supports our little mitochondria. Remember, the mitochondria, that is your powerhouse of the cell. So I always say, take yourself all the way back to high school biology class, and most people can remember just the basics of cell structure. And most people will remember if you go back into your brain and you think about the way that cells generate energy. Well, the mitochondria is integral to that. So if we end up with mitochondrial dysfunction, meaning that your cells cannot do what they are supposed to do in terms of energy production, then the cell itself starts to die off. Well, we don't want that to happen, especially in our brain, our heart, or for the immune cells. So this is why Shisandra, very, very beneficial, helps to fend off the oxidative stress because we're taking in a plant-based antioxidant. But we also know that these key active constituents that are derived from this very powerful extract do so much to support a healthy inflammatory response as well as help our body when it comes to bolstering up that immune defense. So it has a lot of immunomodulatory benefits to it. So I definitely encourage you to make sure that you take a look at the True Immunity. It is a fabulous, fabulous formulation. It's so easy to incorporate into your daily routine. I always say, put down that orange juice. I know I live in Florida. I'm supposed to be promoting orange juice. Orange juice really isn't that great for you. The reason why it has a lot of sugar, not a lot of fiber. If you want to eat a regular orange, that's one thing. But just the orange juice itself, yeah, not so good. But if we are taking in something like the True Immunity, which has all of these wonderful immune supporting and immune required vitamins and minerals, along with the power of Schisandra extract, we are really setting our day up for more optimal health. So I definitely encourage you to check this out. You can go to our website, invitehealth.com, look at the True Immunity. This is one of those things where I always say, the holidays, they really aren't that far off. I know we're at the tail end of summer, but really, the holidays aren't that far off. This is a really nice thing for you to even consider as a gift to give someone. Nothing better to give than the gift of health, right? And now more than ever, that is really, really important. So definitely tune in a few more days. I will be back to tell you about more wonderful formulations that we have available for you at Invite Health. And remember, when you have questions and you're not sure if you're taking your supplements right or if you're on the right routine, do reach out to one of our healthcare experts. We have them at every single one of our locations, and they are there to help you help yourself. So thank you so much for listening today, and I will be back in a few more days. Thank you.